All right. So I want to finish this show with one of our recurring segments. And on this week, on things that I wish I knew when I was 17, I want to start with a quote. Obsessed is just a word the lazy use to describe the dedicated. Russell Warren. So, that quote might seem a little pretentious, but there are a few things worth considering before making that judgment. So, passionate people are often called obsessed or crazy. They do what they do because they love what they do. For them, happiness comes from doing the work, not from being able to relax afterwards. Lazy people, or any mediocre person for that matter, fall into the habit of calling these passionate people obsessed or crazy as an excuse. This post is just a shout out to the people who are passionate about their work. Keep on doing what you do and don't let anyone discourage you to do what you love to do. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I enjoy work. I have always enjoyed work, and it's not just like going and clocking into work. I mean actual physical labor. I appreciate it and I enjoy it, and there's something about seeing your work and seeing the progress you make over time. Even if you're not good at it right off the bat. It's about working the muscles. It's about working the skill in whatever you're doing. If it's gardening, then after a while of doing it multiple times, you get better at gardening. If it's cooking, you're going to burn some crap up a couple of times, but before you know it, you're going to know how, through trial and error, how to prepare that dish the right way, how to change the temperature, okay? Change the way you flip that piece of meat or that ingredient or whatever you are preparing in a way that's going to be better than the last time you did it. And then you're going to teach that. I feel like you truly master something when you can teach someone else. I feel like that's when I finally really mastered a skill. When I can teach somebody else to make that dish that I love to make, that's when I know that I've mastered it. So I have another thing that I want to share with you that kind of coincides with this, and then I'll talk about it and we'll wrap up the show.
Nobody tells people who are beginners, and I really wish somebody had told this to me, is that all of us who do creative work, like, we get into it, and we get into it because we have good taste. But it's like there's a gap that for the first couple of years that you're making stuff, what you're making isn't so good, okay? It's not that great. It's trying to be good. It has ambition to be good, but it's not quite that good. But your taste, the thing that got you into the game, your taste is still killer. And your taste is good enough that you can tell that what you're making is kind of a disappointment to you. You know what I mean? A lot of people never get past that phase. A lot of people at that point, they quit. And the thing I would just say to you with all my heart is that most everybody I know who does interesting creative work, they went through a phase of years where they had really good taste. They could tell what they were making wasn't as good as they wanted it to be. They knew it felt short. It didn't have this special thing that we wanted it to have. And the thing I would say to you is everybody goes through that. And for you to go through it, if you're going through it right now, if you're just getting out of that phase, you got to know it's totally normal. And the most important possible thing you could do is do a lot of work. Do a huge volume of work. Put yourself on a deadline so that every week or every month you know you're going to finish one story. Because it's only by actually going through a volume of work that you're actually going to catch up and close that gap. and the work you're making will be as good as your ambitions. It takes a while. It's going to take you a while. It's normal to take a while, and you just have to fight your way through that. Okay?
So I found that important and inspiring really, because it was good to hear from somebody like Ira Glass. That's Ira Glass. If you've ever listened to This American Life, I believe he produces a lot of that content. He's well known as one of the best journalists in the world now. And I found it encouraging to hear from somebody that's that successful, that when he first started out, the stuff that he was putting out, he believed wasn't so great. But after a while, working that muscle and getting better at producing content or creating or whatever you're doing, it comes through the work with doing more, making more videos, putting out more content, not being afraid to fail. You will grow and become better as you do the work. So I encourage anyone who is not sure about the thing that they're doing right now, don't quit, don't give up. Continue to do the work. Continue to just go through that process. And in the interim, you might know that it's not the best. You might know deep down that because of your taste, it's not quite hitting that mark. But over time, it will. And the only way that it will is through trial and error and through that repetition. Just like if you were playing a sport, for instance, and you were playing basketball and you were developing a jump shot, you're not going to get out on the court and automatically be Steph Curry. Steph Curry is Steph Curry through the work. He's missed hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of shots going through his process of becoming a deadly shooter. And to do that is repetition, shooting thousands of shots every day, establishing that muscle memory over time to where he can shoot it and go through a whole workout and make 100 3-pointers in a row from the corner. And it's like nothing. And that's through to the repetition. So I want to leave you with that today. I found that helpful. And I hope that everybody is enjoying their summer right now and staying safe. I see some of the restrictions are being lifted. And I just want to leave you with this as well. If you want to be successful, you need to be internally motivated and not influenced from outside factors or instant validation. So be grateful for what you have, hug someone, do something kind, not expecting anything in return, express yourself, and I will speak to you guys next week. Be well.